Welcome to Road to Ownership. My name is Wes. Today we're going to continue with our segment. We call this segment the Call to Ownership. All we do here, we're going from state to state, from city to city, calling families, calling individuals out of renting towards ownership, out of rentalship towards ownership. Now, we feel that too many people live their entire working years paying that rent every single month, giving away the largest portion of their monthly income in the form of rent. While a lot of these people could have been a homeowner, building equity and leaving something behind for their children and for their grandchildren. That is why we're here to encourage, to motivate, and to educate you about home ownership. Today we're going to speak to the folks in the state of West Virginia. But before we go to West Virginia, I want to ask you for a quick favor. Please just take 1 second and subscribe to this channel. It will be greatly appreciated. West Virginia is the 40th most populous state in the country. Its population is about 1.7 million people. Now, the average price of a house in West Virginia is about $114 compared to $374, which is the national average. So homes in West Virginia, generally speaking, are fairly inexpensive. The homeownership rate in West Virginia is 72.5% compared to 65.6%, which is the national average. For blacks and African Americans in West Virginia, the homeownership rate is 42%. Now, the cost of living in West Virginia is 91.1 compared to the national index, which is 100. When it comes to homeownership, I like to talk about the factors that affect homeownership. When I'm making these videos, I look at the state and I like to talk about the factors that affect homeownership. I am concerned about the fact that too many people, live their entire life paying rent, and I make those videos because I think maybe if one person hear my message and it makes sense to them, that might actually improve the life of somebody, or maybe help them create a better situation for the next generation. I think that many people remain a tenant because they're comfortable. Okay, because it's easy to be a tenant. If there is a water leak in the bathroom, you can just call the landlord. You don't have to cut the grass sometime because the landlord sends somebody to cut the grass. You don't have to worry, if the fridge stops working, you just call the landlord to come and deal with the fridge. And a lot of us have fear that one day we will lose our job and we will not be able to pay our mortgage, and we're going to lose the house, And because of that, we see homeownership as this massive responsibility, But, so many people own a house and they're okay. So you can own a house also. Let me speak directly to the folks in West Virginia. For a bank to make a loan for you to buy a house, the bank require you, this is the general statement, to have a full-time jobs for 2 years. So based on that only, without looking at other factors, if you've been an employee for more than 2 years, like 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, you've maintained a full-time job, it means you have already completed 1/3 of what it requires to buy a house. Okay? And I don't understand why you've been working full-time for 5 years, for 10 years, and you have not looked at the possibility of becoming a homeowner. What I want to do today, what I want you to do today that to find this video, is to actually plant the seed of ownership in your family. By this, I mean for you to bring in the belief that you can become a homeowner, and that your family has been called out of this life of renting towards ownership. When you believe that, then you will start to talk about that. You will talk about that, and your children will start to hear about that. Okay? That way, if for some reason you become sick or somehow, okay, you don't achieve this goal of owning a house, Your children will do it because they used to hear it. They used to hear it in the family that this was the intention, that was the path, that was the goal. That's why I'm asking you today, to plant the seed of ownership in your family. Start working towards home ownership because you believe you can become a homeowner. Start working towards home ownership because you believe that home ownership is a good thing for your family and is something that you should be a part of. I want you to plant the seed of ownership in your family. It's going to benefit you. It's going to benefit the next generation. It's a very simple vision, a very simple goal. And my message is a very simple message. Okay? In this land of opportunity, more than 80% of the population should own their own house. The reason why the number is so low is because of lack of education. It's because of lack of motivation. It's because of a lot of misunderstanding. Home ownership is the #1 level of wealth for the working class. And I want you to get on the path towards home ownership. This was the call for the state of West Virginia. Thank you.